Can you believe what's going on in California? The state is dealing with water scarcity and flooding. It's like the weather can't decide. But don't worry, the experts have come up with a great solution. They're building a mega dam that will cost billions of dollars. In this video, we'll chat about this crazy situation and how this massive project could potentially solve California's water problems. But first, let's look at what's happening with the water in California. The state of water in California faces a tough challenge when it comes to water. Large areas of the state, including the Great Basin, Mojave, and Colorado, are officially deserts. When the first American settlers arrived a few hundred years ago, the lack of water made farming difficult. Unfortunately, things haven't changed much, and in October 2021, the governor declared a statewide drought emergency, calling on citizens to reduce water usage by 15%. However, as of 2023, the trouble is still in effect, with more than 1,000 days of official drought conditions. But that's not the whole story. During this extended drought, California experienced a period of heavy rainfall that caused significant flooding in some areas. The floods damaged towns and cities, claimed 22 lives, and prompted the governor to declare another emergency. Currently, California is dealing with emergency droughts and floods simultaneously. California faces a challenge when it comes to managing water resources. Despite heavy rainfall during specific periods, only a tiny fraction of the water is effectively collected and stored. As a result, most of it drains away or flows into the sea, and the state continues to face drought conditions. They cannot accumulate sufficient water during the rainy season to offset drought. Consequently, California experiences a cycle of fluctuating water availability, oscillating between excess and shortage, repeating over and over again. In the 1950s, California faced a tough time, with frequent droughts and floods happening one after the other. But instead of just hoping for the best, the state took action and created the State Water Project, also known as the SWP. The SWP had a simple goal: to find a way to store water during floods to be used during droughts. Within a few years, they built over 20 dams that collect water in giant reservoirs during heavy rainfall. That means California is better prepared for swings between too much and too little water. One of the most well-known reservoirs in California is Lake Oroville, located behind the Oroville Dam. This dam is the biggest in the United States, towering over 200 meters high, and the reservoir can hold billions of gallons of water. California boasts the world's most advanced and ambitious water management system, including crucial components such as Pyramid Lake, the California Aqueduct, and the Edmonston Pumping Plant. The California Aqueduct serves millions of people by transporting water from the Sierra Nevada to Los Angeles, with various branches along the way. The Edmonston Pumping Plant is especially impressive as it lifts water over the Tehachapi Mountains, making it the tallest pumping plant globally with a height of 600 meters. However, during its construction in the 1960s and 70s, it was intended to be only the first stage. The initial stage, in the 1980s and 1990s, there were plans to construct more dams and canals to improve California's water management system. However, these projects were delayed due to economic concerns. The state was struggling with increasing debts, and there were also environmental issues to consider. The construction of water facilities disrupted the natural flow of rivers and harmed local species, such as salmon and steelhead trout. These fish could not reach their breeding sites due to dams and pumping stations. As a result, their populations declined significantly. California decided to delay the next round of construction and rely on the first stage of projects to meet their water management needs. In the first few years, the new facilities made a difference. About 2/3 of the water collected by the system was given to people in urban areas, while the rest was used to irrigate orchards and farms. The system was estimated to provide about $400 billion to the statewide economy yearly. The current parts of the State Water Project have encountered difficulties in recent years. When those parts were initially constructed, California's population was under 20 million. However, the state's population has doubled over the past few decades as it needs water. Consequently, the dams and canals need help to meet the increasing demand. As Mike Wade, the executive director at the California Farm Water Coalition, puts it, the system was not designed to support the far greater water demands we have today. The severity of droughts is increasing, the population is growing, and the water management system urgently requires an upgrade. As a solution, the state has chosen to construct the Sites Reservoir. The state plans to flood the Valley of Sites, located north of Sacramento, and turn it into a lake to capture excess water from significant storms and save it for drier periods. The idea has been around since the 1950s and was almost included in Stage 1 of California's water management project, but the plan needed to be more ambitious and costly. However, the state has had a change of heart in recent years, and if successful, the Sites Reservoir could store over 2 cubic kilometers of water, enough to provide drinking water for hundreds of thousands of homes. The project website describes it as an environmentally beneficial reservoir. What is the plan for building the Sites Reservoir? Construction workers will build a reservoir in the Sites Valley, using 2 main dams, the Sites Dam and Golden Gate Dam, to block openings between the hills surrounding the valley. Since no significant rivers are in the valley, an alternative approach will be required to fill the reservoir. The Sites Valley is situated 25 kilometers to the west of the Sacramento River, and during the rainy season, water from the river is pumped into the valley. This will bring relief to nearby regions, and the SWP believes it is a worthwhile effort as they will be able to recover some of the water. When water is discharged from the reservoir, it passes through hydroelectric generators that provide 80% of the energy needed to pump the water in the first place. The construction is expected to begin in either 2024 or 2025 and is scheduled to be completed in 2030 or 2031. Some individuals are disappointed that it will not be ready earlier. Did you know that the Sites Reservoir in California could have collected rainwater during floods earlier this year and supplied over 200,000 households for a year? But some people are worried about the drawbacks, like a 300% hike in water prices to fund the project and how it could affect fish migration in the Sacramento River. However, the project aims to avoid disrupting the river and promises to use the collected water to support local species. They plan to finish building the reservoir by 2030 if they get enough funding. Do you think this would have a positive impact on California? Please feel free to share your opinion in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, please like and share it with your friends and family, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more amazing videos like this.